Now I have NewsNation legal contributor Jesse Weber. Jesse, good morning to you. So if the DA says he's against their resentencing, you think this is the nail in the coffin for their chances?
I want to lay out how much he put them in a corner here, okay? So basically he's like, and this is very common in California where they have this resentencing law. Inmates, prisoners, defendants, they would have to exhibit, look, I'm rehabilitated. I'm not the same person that I was. I've completely changed course. But here's the problem. If they say that, if they go, yeah, we've been lying the last 30 years. That whole self-defense argument is bogus. We weren't truthful. We're finally going to take accountability. If they do that, first of all, there's no guarantee they're actually going to be resentenced and released. Put that to the side. But that also jeopardizes their two other legal avenues to be released. They have a separate habeas corpus petition where they're asking for a new trial. They're saying there's new evidence that proves they're innocent, that their convictions, their sentences are unlawful. If they admit all this, that completely jeopardizes that. And on a separate avenue, Governor Newsom in California has now expressed interest in possibly granting clemency. He's asked the parole board to do a 90-day risk assessment of these brothers. But if they come forward and say, we weren't being honest and we're taking accountability over the last 30 years, that puts them in a really difficult position to put the rubber stamp and have them released. So yeah, Nathan Hochman really has tied their hands in a lot of ways.
And if these brothers are now in that corner, Jesse, and this is their only way out, I mean, do you think we hear them change their tune or no?
I don't think yet.
And how would you advise them in this moment if you were on their legal team?
So I don't know if I'll say what I'll advise, but what I expect we'll see is that, again, Governor Newsom has had this parole board do a 90-day assessment of them. And they might look and say, listen, we looked at how their behavior in prison. We've looked at what they've had to say. We don't believe they're going to be a danger on the outside. And Governor Newsom can disagree with Nathan Hochman's assessment and say that I want to grant pardon. I want to commute their sentences in some way. But remember what the difficult part of this is. So they might wait. They might wait to hear what the Governor Newsom does. But remember, Governor Newsom actually denied parole to Sirhan, who killed RFK. This was mentioned by Nathan Hochman because basically the assessment was he didn't repent. He didn't take full accountability. So again, why would this case be different? Obviously, it's a little bit different, but again, it puts Governor Newsom in a little bit of a tight bind as well.
Yeah, and so what do you think the chances are that the governor or that parole board would actually shorten their sentences, Jesse?
Look, they have been, by all accounts, model prisoners. There are people who would look at what is arguably new evidence and say that perhaps evidence of them being sexually abused is an important consideration. Clearly, from a legal point of view, from Nathan Hochman's point of view, and from the courts who have looked at this in the past, they don't think that justified this case in any way or negated their criminal liability. But a parole board might look at this differently. Governor Newsom might look at this differently. He's obviously implemented a lot of clemency actions in the past, so perhaps this is going to be their only avenue. But, you know, look, Nathan Hochman has a very different perspective than his predecessor, George Gascon.
Yeah, and it's been, I mean, this has garnered so much attention for decades, but especially in this moment right now after the docuseries, the documentary was released on Netflix. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like if this doesn't end up in a new trial or resentencing for these brothers, I can't imagine another window, a better window of opportunity for them in the future. Can you?
I can't. And there's so much attention around this. This is actually one of the reasons why I think Nathan Hochman's predecessor, George Gascon, actually jumped on this so many years later. I think I've talked to you about this before, is they had filed legal papers to be released about a year and a half before all the attention was on them from the docuseries. And nothing really came of it. And then all of a sudden, after all the attention, that's when the LA DA's office is like, okay, let's take a second look at this. And I thought that timing of that was very interesting. But look, I think at this point, this is the prime opportunity for them to get consideration. I think look, they're still facing the same kind of difficulties with this evidence that hasn't changed. Remember, the reason Nathan Hochman doesn't want to fully support their release is he believes this was premeditated, that there was no imminent threat to justify self-defense, that they lied about their whereabouts, they lied about their alibi, they lied about who committed these crimes, they lied about the actual killing itself. So these are really important considerations. And the family of the brothers are not too happy with Nathan Hochman. On the other hand, you know, there's the other side, the family of the victims in this case, who believe that the brothers should remain behind bars. It's a very difficult position. I'm very curious to see what the parole board ultimately decides. And then Governor Newsom.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.